So we are going to read one chapter today of the Diamond Mystery. So let's go ahead and look at the cover.
Wait, we didn't finish the kids who rule the school thing.
Nope, not yet. We're going to get back to that. But because we're going to use this in our reading, we're going to read this aloud. But when we're done with this one, we'll go back to the kids who rule the school. All right, so go ahead and look at the front cover, and then I'll flip to the back. All right, here we go to the back. It says, in between hanging out, riding their bikes, and playing video games, best friends and classmates Jerry and Maya run a detective agency in their small town. So that's what the back blurb says. All right, here we go. Let's open it up and read chapter 1. All right, The Diamond Mystery. The books in the Whodunit Detective Agency series are set in the charming little town of Pleasant Valley. It's the sort of close-knit community where nearly everyone knows one another. The town and characters are all fictional, of course. Or are they? The main characters, Jerry and Maya, are classmates and close friends who run a small detective agency together. All right, so that is the introduction, kind of giving you the background knowledge of where this is set and who the characters are. All right, here's a map of Pleasant Valley, so we'll go ahead and look at that. All right, and chapter 1. All right, so here are the people. We have Jerry, Maya, Muhammad, Karat, Vivian, Leander, Danny Braveheart, and Luke Smith. So chapter 1, the detective's office. The streets were empty in the little town of Pleasant Valley. At 3:30 on a chilly February afternoon, it was already growing dark. A late winter storm had left the town slick with freezing rain. There was a light shining through the basement window of a small house just east of town. Inside, 2 children enjoyed the cozy warmth of the basement. Their names were Jerry and Maya, classmates and good friends from school. They were off from school for winter break. Most of their friends were charging down the sledding hill, but neither Jerry nor Maya felt like joining them. They had something else on their minds. I have a feeling that something exciting is going to happen soon, said Jerry. Hopefully. Mumbled Maya. She had her nose in a book as usual. The 2 classmates had set up a small office in Maya's basement, and they sat in 2 old armchairs that stood next to a table piled high with books. More volumes of thick books, Maya's dad's detective stories, lined the walls. Maya and Jerry liked to sit in this room and read. During winter break, they wanted to learn everything about how thieves and police officers worked. You see, Maya and Jerry were not just friends. They were partners as well. Together, they ran a detective agency, the Whodunit Detective Agency. A detective, of course, is a type of police officer who wears regular clothes instead of an official uniform. A detective carries out investigations and spies on suspects, takes photographs, and looks through binoculars. In the end, a good detective solves the case and catches the criminal. I wish we had a really exciting case, said Maya with a sigh. Maybe all of the thieves are on winter break too, said Jerry. Maya opened a tidy cabinet to make sure everything inside was well organized. It held everything they needed for their detective work. A camera with a flash to take photos in the dark, a pair of binoculars to spy on things from far away, a magnifying glass to check for fingerprints, a mirror to peer around corners, several false noses and wigs to disguise themselves, a few flashlights to use when it was dark, and a safe to protect the money they'd earned. But their safe was empty because nothing exciting had happened for a long time. But once it did, Jerry and Maya were ready. They had put up signs all around Pleasant Valley on nearly every streetlight and door. They had hung posters that said, "Whodunit Detective Agency, now accepting exciting and dangerous assignments. Lost wallets and runaway cats recovered. Low prices, tax included." So, while Jerry and Maya waited for an exciting case, they researched detective stories. Maya was just about to fill Jerry in on the book she was reading. It was a story about a dog napper who stole dogs tied up outside stores and then called the dogs' owners to demand ransoms for the poor pooches. Maya was upset just thinking about it. That was one criminal she would really like to catch. But before she had a chance to describe the case to Jerry, there was a knock on the door. Jerry and Maya looked at each other in surprise. Who could it be? And that's the end of chapter 1.